So welcome to another video from theplayersaid.com. My name's Alexander.
And I'm Grant.
And today is a bit of a, we're going to call it a bit of a first impressions type video of the Napoleonic Wars from GMT Games. We're also going to call this a Shelf of Shame dust-off video.
100%.
Because it is. So,
well, we both own copies.
yes.
And we've owned them for a couple of years. Although
No, I bought them both this year, I think.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. New Shelf of Shame.
But this is an old game, and we're going to call it that way. So
I have a first edition copy. You have a second edition copy.
Yes.
There is a rumored third edition.
I don't think it's rumored. I think it's coming.
Will be added to the P500 sometime.
Yes.
So my sources have not told me when that's going to be.
But we look forward to that with great anticipation.
And I hope they put it in a...
Please put it in a 3-inch box.
Please give it a bigger board, because we played on an oversized board at WBC.
And it was amazing.
And it was amazing. And I look at...
It'll be a one mapper.
But that is a puny board.
A two mapper would be cool.
You need a magnifying glass.
Yes. So my special little... I bought this off of Noble Knight. And so it came with the oversized two mapper.
Which is amazing.
And this is like card and not cardboard. And it still doesn't really fit in the box. We played on a map even bigger than this.
Yeah.
But this would be amazing.
Do you have the other one out? I mean, this is pretty big.
Yeah.
That's actually really good.
It's a two mapper. But like the game came with, like this was sold separately.
Yeah.
In like its own little poly bag. Oopsies, everything's falling apart.
It was sold by GMT?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know how they did like mounted map boards these days?
Yes.
This was the precursor to that.
Yeah, because this game was like in 07, 08.
And that's this edition.
Okay.
So I think the first edition's even older. than that.
That's a big, beautiful board.
But like this will be perfectly serviceable.
100%.
Right? And this is very similar to what we played with.
The original board is right here, and it literally is just this.
It's just a one mapper, and it's much smaller.
Look how tiny that
and it's
is.
a bit of a tragedy, honestly.
Oh boy, that's going to be rough.
So the Napoleonic Wars is a point-to-point card-driven game designed by Mark McLaughlin. This can technically play up to 5 people, although there has been much discussion.
Are the Prussians really playing?
That it should only be played with 4.
Yeah.
So we played a 5-player game at WBC. We played it with at the invite of Kip and Phil.
Thank you, guys, for inviting us and teaching us.
They both play in and also like co-GM the Napoleonic Wars tournament at WBC every year. And
they are real devotees to the game.
And they've been inviting us for a while. And we
Yep.
finally got it done. Because they're like, oh, we wanted to teach you, I want to teach you. And this year it was like, hey, let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
So we sat down with them of an evening and we played the whole thing on this big old neoprene mat with really nice artwork that was custom that some guy had made, I think.
It was very nice.
It was real nice.
And the counters were
big
bigger.
Old oversized pieces.
Yeah. They were actually almost too big because they were too thick because it was hard to stack them.
Yes, but people can't see across the map.
It's true.
So
it's
it was great. But it was a wonderful evening.
And it was a long game. We started at 6-ish, and I think we finished like at 11:30.
I don't think we even started till a bit later.
7. Okay.
We met at 6, but then it was like we were waiting for people.
And we only got through. Was it 3 turns or 4 turns?
I think we did 3.
And then the game was over.
Yes.
Because the piece roll.
Yes.
Happened.
The French won. Imagine that.
Yeah.
So all that to say, so the way that the cards look and feel, and the way that your armies, generally speaking, kind of move and operate, not dissimilar from something like Here I Stand.
Or Wilderness War, or
Virgin Queen.
Washington's War.
Yeah, so, you're spending your ops to build guys, to move guys, to siege areas, or you can use the events to do whatever the event says, right? But it's a 5, we're going to call it a 5-player game. 5-player game. It's Austria, Russia, Prussia, France, and Britain. And there's all sorts of internal diplomatic mechanics, such that like France can go and like smash the Austrians and take Vienna, and then he like subjugates them so that they become like a subject to him, and so then he's on their side to like force coalitions basically.
Yep.
Because otherwise no one would ever team up because there'd be no incentive, and France would lose every game.
Yeah.
Or not. They might still not.
They have amazing cards, and they have a lot of them.
Yeah, so France
So-
are very strong in this game, as you might well expect.
You would expect.
Because they have to kind of dictate what happens, and if everyone to just dogpile them and they weren't strong enough,
Yeah.
there wouldn't be a game there.
Yeah.
And that's all these big multiplayer Napoleonics games have to contend with that. And how they go about doing that is always interesting from a design standpoint of what they chose to do. And in this one, I don't know. We've only played it once, and that's why this is first impressions. They are very powerful.
Well,
they
and-
can do
and-
an awful lot of stuff.
I think they're powerful for a couple of reasons. One, they have so many cards.
Yes.
I think I was the Russians, and I was getting like 4 cards. And I think France had like 8 or 9. Wasn't that
It
the-
was a lot. I don't remember what it was, but it was a lot.
It was so many cards. And then Napoleon is like a god.
Oh, yeah.
He can evade every attack.
Or
'Cause he
intercept
basi-
every attack.
Because he basically has to roll like a 4 or higher, I think, is on 2d6.
Yeah, because I think you need to...
Because he's like +3 or something. You have to have a 7 or a 9.
I think you have to hit a 9, but he has a +4 inherently for being Napoleon. And then there's just like... If
Terrain.
it's within adjacencies
Yeah.
and all this stuff, he's
So it was
always
like,
get
more often than
bonuses.
not, he was having to roll 4 or 5 to evade. So I tried to attack him on numerous occasions with my combined Russian-Austrian army, because I was the Russians teamed up with the Austrians, and he just kept getting away.
Yeah.
Conversely, every time I moved within range of him, he pounced on me like a jaguar.
Yeah.
And it was insane the number of reinforcements he got every single turn.
Yeah, he was...
Either from cards or from...
And he was just throwing them out. And
It was
like,
insane.
It was so hard to do anything against him in the long term.
Yeah. Now, they told us, I think, early on that 40% of the time, roughly, France wins the game.
Which in a 5-player game, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That means the other 4 players combined only win 60% of the time. So that's like 15.
Yeah.
15 times 4 is 60. So you're not winning very much with the other. It can be done. I think we had him on the ropes a couple of times.
Yeah.
Had we had maybe some better dice luck, it might have
or
spun
one
differently.
additional card.
Well, right. So I bring that up because that was our experience. Kip was just trashing us. And that's fine. I learned a lot from that. I learned what I could and should be doing.
And he was very upfront about that.
Oh, 100%.
Where he was like, hey, this is the kind of stuff that Napoleon's going to be doing.
Yeah.
Like,
Be
he's
prepared.
very strong, so watch out for this kind of stuff.
Yeah. The other comment I would have about the game, there are a couple more things I want to talk about, but the cards, right? Card-driven game. More often than not, there's a good distribution for card-driven games. Your average power is 2.5 to 3. In this game, it's 3.5. So that means, on average, every single card in your hand is going to be at least 3.5 ops, and the high ones are 5s and 6s.
And there's a lot of them.
Well, I just grabbed a handful.
Yeah.
There's 5 6s right
Six,
there.
6, 6. Oh, no, I didn't mean to say that.
You got a lot
Lots
of 2s and
fives.
3s.
Yeah, but that's...
But 5, 6s, and 4s, there's a ton of those. So be aware of that. When
Yeah.
you play this game, there's a lot of high-valued cards
And we're coming from regular Here I Stand players.
where the average value is 2.5.
And if you see the 1 or 2 5 cards, you're like, oh, dang.
Yeah, yeah,
That's as powerful as my home card.
yeah,
And you're like, I'm having a good time, and I'm as rich as the Sultan.
yeah.
Whereas this one, it was like, here's your hand of 5 cards. I now have about 30 points to
Yeah.
spend. And so,
I had 2 6s, a 5, 2 4s, and a 3. Oh, boring.
and France has like 8 or 9
Yeah,
cards.
it's
And
crazy.
they're all at high value.
Yep.
You will see them
Hand me those player boards.
in a turn literally charge across the map with 2 whole armies.
Yeah.
Almost getting like to Moscow.
Does it say how many cards they've got?
They won't get it's a bog down in Moscow, but like,
Yeah.
you know, here I stand. I'm going to move my army for the whole turn. They might move like 1 or 2 spaces.
Their initial cards are 6. Okay.
Yes.
But I think mine were 3. My initial cards, I think,
Yes.
were 3.
But it's the disparity.
Huge difference.
And he picked up more real quick as well.
My initial cards were 3. Yeah. Anyway, be aware, France is powerful.
Yeah, as you would expect.
I would think any Napoleonic's war game that isn't that way is laughable.
Or or it has like the other problem where it's like France doesn't have a shot,
Right.
Unless they play perfectly, which is
That's also not fun.
that's also tough.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was very interesting. What that meant is that with the amount of power that you had and how quick things like sea movement are and regular movement even mostly was pretty sharpish. It meant that like nothing was safe.
No.
Anything could be attacked at any moment. Almost.
Yep.
Not quite, but
Generally.
it meant the game was constantly. There was fights. It was dynamic. That things were in flux. You'd lose a battle, and all of a sudden you're like, oh dang,
Yeah.
I'm wide open. Mm-hmm. You would be doing that to other people as well, but that's the kind of game that this is, where I think it can be very delicate.
Yeah.
It's really easy to like, oops,
Yep.
and then you're done.
Yeah.
I think that can happen, especially if you don't know the rules. The one thing that I was told about is like, hey, the Prussians must keep guys in Warsaw, because if they don't,
There's a card.
there's a card, and if you don't have guys in there, they can take this, and then they're going to have so many additional keys, they're going to roll that peace die, and they're going to win.
Yeah.
We didn't see that, but people were like, hey, this happened like earlier today.
It's
Don't
like
do
a
that.
revolt or something. I
Yeah.
think that card's like a revolt. But let's talk about the peace die roll, right? So that is the victory determination
Yeah.
at the end of every single turn.
Including turn one.
Yeah. So what happens is you go around in turn order. I think France is first. You can sacrifice a card to get a +1 DRM if you're France, -1 if you're coalition, right?
Yep.
So France almost every time was like, hell yeah, I'll throw one card in there, because then you're going to roll the 1d6,
You roll 1d6,
and it has to be a modified 6.
modified 6, and you win the game.
Win the game. So it's gone so well, whether it's not or not on the board, that the game can be over. We found that like everybody threw in 1 or 2 cards on the negative.
But you're throwing in a card against your next turn.
100%.
So the game's going to go, you're going to have nothing to do
Yeah.
next turn.
So it was that I thought was a very interesting mechanic. I'm not sure after one play that I loved that.
Well, so I think that is the most polarizing part of this game.
Yeah.
Because it is entirely feasible that on turn 1,
Game's over.
the French have taken a couple of keys.
Yep.
And they've got an advantage because of that.
+1 or +2 or
They
something
throw
like
in
that.
a card, and everyone's like, we'll risk it. No one puts anything else in, doesn't negate that, and they roll and they win.
Yeah.
And the game's over on turn 1.
And that would be very, very disappointing.
That would be done.
Yeah.
Like, and I understand that, like, that's Mark's way of saying, hey, you got to put in your cards. Like, you
Yep.
have to make the sacrifices.
But when you only have 3 cards, that's really hard.
But
Because Napoleon has like 6 or 7.
the guys that we play with are like, hey, house rule, you don't do it on turn 1.
Yeah, right.
Turn 2, totally fine.
Yeah, right.
Because that is the game.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's also, I don't know if they explained that part of it to us all that well. It's whoever is in the lead gets to make the peace die roll.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and the lead is determined by the net difference between where you started
Yeah,
and
and
what
where
you
you-
got.
yeah.
So, if France loses a bunch of stuff and someone else gains a bunch of stuff, they're all of a sudden now making the peace die roll.
Yep.
So, but it's just that the first probably 2 or 3 turns, it's always going to be France.
Yeah.
So to understand that other people can win.
Yeah.
It's just you have to overcome the French, and whoever's left will roll the die and might
Yeah.
win.
Yeah.
Do I love rolling a die to win the game? Not super duper, because
Not my favorite part
because
of the
it will
game.
either end on the die roll, which is like, cool, you
Yeah.
won on a die roll, or it will go the entire length of the game, and
Because
then
you keep rolling ones.
which is also like, okay, that's a really long game.
Yeah.
And then it's some victory points at the end, and I don't really know how that's determined, but I presume it's just whoever would have the most net difference.
Well, it's probably keys and net difference.
But so I think people are like, oh, that the die roll is a feature of the game. I think it shows its age a
Age,
little
sure.
bit. It's not
Well-
my favorite thing in the whole world.
I don't want to bring it back up, but one of your favorite series, GCACW,
Yeah.
has a initiative role that I think is very antiquated.
Yes.
Many people say it's a feature of the game. I would argue that it's not a feature of the game. I think it's unnecessary, and there's any number of ways that you could determine initiative. Just like I think this is not a feature of the game, it's something I'm not sure I love. And like you said, it's very polarizing. There's some people that think, oh, it's great. Some people that think it's the stupidest thing ever.
Yes. And but just know that, like, if you want to play this game, that's part of the game.
Yep.
There's nothing, no two ways about it.
Yep.
That's part of the game.
Yep.
And it's you are working towards building that die roll for yourself.
Yep.
Is the reality of what you're doing. Do I prefer the way that Here I Stand does it? Yes. Mm-hmm. Where it's like, hey, if you have a dominating lead at the end of the turn, starting with turn 4, you win.
And is it 5 points?
Yeah,
higher?
if you have 5 or more, or you get to like whatever this
25
specific threshold is.
Yeah.
And you could have national thresholds in this game real easy.
Sure.
Hey, French get to 35 points, they win.
Yeah.
Prussians get to 20 points, they win.
Yep.
You could do that pretty easily. I would love to see that as an option.
Yeah.
But then people will be like, oh, but then it's not the Napoleonic Wars.
Sure.
The Napoleonic Wars is about that peace die roll, and that's what makes it kind of a bit wacky and a bit zany in a way.
Yeah.
And what keeps it a beer and pretzels light war game, relatively speaking.
Yep.
To something like Here I Stand, where it's like, sometimes you have to remind each other, like, hey, it's just a game, and we don't hate each other, but I am taking this last victory point from you.
Yeah, I'm screwing
so
you
that
over.
I can win the game.
Yeah.
That can get a little bit vicious.
Yep.
Whereas this one's like,
you won, great. Yeah.
You still read a 30-page rule book, and we did all this complicated stuff, but I think that peace die roll keeps it from being quite so serious and intense.
Yeah.
Because it's a little bit silly.
Yeah.
There's a lot of luck in there.
Well, and don't misunderstand our comments. I had a blast with the game.
I had a great time.
I very much enjoyed what it was that I was doing. Loved the card-driven aspect. I thought it was great. I loved having to work with the Austrians. I loved having to try to convince the Prussian guy to stop
do anything.
To stop doing what he was doing, nothing, and help us. But I enjoyed what we were doing. I had a good time with the game, and ultimately that's why we play these games.
Yes. And so that was coming back to something we mentioned earlier. When we posted about this, there was a lot of people who were like, "Oh, this game is really fun, as long as you only play it 4-player and you don't play with the Prussians."
Yeah.
So there are rules for the Prussians to be like a
bot.
subject minor, just like the other ones, and they're a little bot and they kind of do their own thing. Because the Prussians have 2 things that they can do. One is to turtle, not get involved, and do some external diplomacy, and they might be able to win the game that way.
Yep.
That's extremely long and boring for that player. I don't envy the person who has to do that. Or they immediately join the French coalition, at which point France wins the game.
Yeah.
Like, none of those are particularly great options.
Yeah.
Or they like turtle, and then join the French, and then they think they can win because they turtled and did enough diplomacy, at which point it's the same thing as if they hadn't joined the French. They just had to join the French to get the threshold to be able to roll the peace die. Either way, I would not want to play the Prussians. That's not a satisfying game experience if we're going to sit down for 6 hours. I don't want to do that.
Because literally all he was doing was trying to influence the Ottomans and influence the Swedes. Yeah,
The Swedes.
Sweden.
And
that's all he was trying to
and
do.
de-influence everyone else.
Yep.
And
I'm just like, wow. As we were dying on the front line against the juggernaut that was France.
And historically speaking, there were times where the Austrians, there were times where the Prussians were subject.
Yeah.
And they weren't doing anything.
Right.
Like, that was the whole point. They were signed Napoleon defeats them, we sign a treaty, you're done fighting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Until you get pissed off enough and I turn my back.
Or until the Brits pay enough.
Yeah, right.
Like this, there's enough, like, I get it, but from a game mechanic standpoint, I wouldn't want someone to draw that short straw, and it is a very short straw. There are some people out there who are like, oh, I find that really rewarding, and I want to do that. Great.
Yeah.
If I'm with that person, they can play that great,
Yeah.
and that's you.
Yeah.
But I think the majority of people, that is so passive.
Well, I think the gentleman that played it, he said maybe 10 words to me the entire night. And I think it was in response to questions I had of him. That should tell you what, because Austria and we were talking the whole time. Like,
Yeah.
what are you going to do down here? How are we going to do this? How are we going to move here? Should we take this? Should we do that? Should I try the, what was it down here? The Corfu gambit. You know, and I'm like, oh, no, I don't want to do that. But same thing with the Brits over here. You were talking to us quite a bit.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, if you do that and distract him,
I
get him out
can-
here.
yeah.
I was crushing
Oh,
Spain.
and you took Spain so easy. It was amazing. Not easy. It took you 3 turns.
Yeah, it
But-
took me long enough.
But I don't know. To me, these games are about that. I don't want to turtle and just do diplomacy with 2 neutrals. That's not for me.
It's boring.
Yeah. And in Here I Stand, none of those factions can do that.
No.
Everybody's got to be actively doing what you are supposed to be doing every single turn, or you're out.
Fully unrelated. But that game of Here I Stand at WBC was amazing.
Oh, it was incredible.
So good.
I've never seen a more competitive game that we've
that
played.
was by far and away our most
Yeah, it was
competitive.
great.
Everyone was in striking distance.
Yeah.
Anyway, I really liked playing this.
Yep.
I had a really good time. It was great sitting down with those people and finally learning this. I'm looking forward to the 3rd edition because the rule book's a little old, it's from 2008. We've come a long way since then. That's
Yeah.
all I'm saying. A facelift on the original paper map that comes in here. A facelift on the
Cards.
little player mats, which are like super coarse and matte and not
Yeah,
coated.
yeah.
Like, zhuzh it up a little bit. Get us some nice artwork, a nice player manual.
Actually,
a
I
nice 3-inch box.
I like the counters.
The counters are perfectly serviceable. But like, I also, you know, because the 2nd edition is the way to play it. Apparently, they like fully changed the rules and like changed all the
cards,
cards.
yep.
Is a big part of that.
So my 1st edition copy, Kip and Phil gifted us a 2nd edition set of cards.
Which like you fully cannot buy those anywhere.
Yeah.
For any reasonable
Very
price that I've
kind of
seen.
them.
But yeah, it
So
was very
my
generous.
understanding is I go home and throw all those cards away? Or do I have to pick some cards
No,
out?
I believe it's a straight replacement for the deck.
Okay, boy, I got to double check that.
But
before
yes,
I do
we
that.
definitely want to double check. They'll all be numbered.
Yeah.
But also print out the new rules. Although
Right,
I think
and
it's
then
not a
that'll
big
be
deal.
good.
And then you'll be fine. But that's it. It was so fun. But this is very expensive on the secondhand market.
Sure.
You can get it at Noble Knight. You can get the 1st edition.
But you're
going
gonna
to
pay
very
for
cheap.
it.
But also, there's a 3rd edition coming that'll
Yep.
get it into people's hands.
Yep.
People will be playing this, and they'll be excited for it. And I want to enjoy that buzz of people liking this as well,
Sure.
and for us to be able to get in on that action even more.
One other comment I would have about the room that we were in. There were about 30 players, 35 players. You could feel the energy about the game.
Oh yeah,
They were interested, they were excited, they were agitated, they were into it. And it was interesting as the night went on, one table, it ended at the end of turn 2.
Yeah.
And one table, it ended at the turn of, I think one table,
ours
it
went.
was,
Ours did turn 3, and
Yeah.
then Mike went. They went to like 1 a.m.
yeah. But it was so fascinating to see the different people that were in, there were young people,
Yeah.
very impressed with that. There were old people, sorry, I'm old. There were in between people, and I was glad to see that much energy around a game that's 20 years old.
Yeah.
That should tell you what you need to know about it. It is definitely an interesting, good game.
Oh, without question.
And I would love to play this again.
Yeah, no, I would too. Is it a perfect game?
No.
No.
Is it a simulation of the Napoleonic Wars? No.
Kind of.
I would say no. That peace die roll's crazy. That's insane.
And so, but it's fun.
Yeah, it's fun. It's
I
interesting.
had a good time
Yep,
with it.
100%.
I also have Wellington, which uses this same system. That's
We're gonna
also
have to play
designed
it.
by Mark
How
McLaughlin.
many players is that?
This one, I believe, is a 4-player game.
Okay.
It's
And it's just Spain,
it's
the Peninsular War.
Yes.
So
You
France.
basically have 2 French armies,
Okay.
north and south, and then it's British and I think Spanish.
Spanish. Okay.
But this uses the same core system, but it's like just a war game basically.
Okay.
You don't have like, it's not quite so zany. Although apparently it's still pretty zany with some of the stuff that happens. But
So this is card driven though?
yep,
As well, okay.
It will look.
Well, we need to play this too then.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a tight box. Holy crap. Anyway, I won't.
But yeah,
That's cool.
yes. and it's funny, I was interested in this one before I even knew that it was related to.
Oh, that's totally unpunched. And
Oh yeah.
is that from GMT?
Originally?
No, but I mean, did you buy this from GMT?
Oh no. I bought
Okay.
this from Noble Knight.
Okay.
I don't even think you can get this anymore.
Well, it even
This was
had
from
the-
2005.
Sure, it had the GMT note in there, like packed by.
Yeah. This is.
That's why I thought, did you get that from GMT?
No, I didn't.
I didn't know if
unfortunately.
on a sale you ended up buying. Oh, that's cool.
But yeah, like this.
We're gonna play that one too then someday.
This game has inspired so many games and has like a semi-direct sequel to it with that where it's just the Peninsular War but uses all these same mechanics in it minus the larger diplomacy aspects. And that's also a testament to how fun the game is as well.
Yeah.
There's a tournament at WBC for heaven's sake. That's
Right.
where we play.
Has
Like
been for years.
it's not going anywhere.
Nope.
People like it.
Yep.
I had fun with it, and I want to do more of it.
Yep.
To kind of get myself a bit more settled in it, as well. And I think the new edition is going to lend itself to that, and to a lot of other new people
Agreed.
getting to it, and so that's very exciting. So Napoleonic Wars from GMT Games. I had a blast playing this. Once again, a huge shout out to Kip and Phil for
The perv.
for,
I had to say it.
for wrangling us and for
Yes.
sitting us down
Being
and playing
persistent
it. Persistence
in
works.
asking us.
And,
Yep.
and we got to play on that gorgeous big giant copy that was real fun.
Although this one's really nice.
Yeah, this is nice.
Like this is really nice.
It's just like kind of awkward because you
A little
still
bit.
kind of need plexi as
You do
well
need
anyway.
plexi.
And it takes
Yeah.
up a weird amount of space in the box. But I look forward to much more from the Napoleonic Wars as well. And it was a very Napoleonic-themed WBC for us. We played a few Napoleonic games.
Agreed.
Quite cool. But Napoleonic Wars, 2nd edition from GMT. If you want to, you can get it on Noble Knight Games. If not, find a friend who's got it.
You said it was affordable?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so. I thought you said it was affordable though. I swear you said. I thought it was pricey.
The first edition's affordable.
The first, but
The
not
first
the
edition.
second.
The first edition's like
They're giving it
80 to
away.
90 bucks.
Okay,
This one is like
200.
250.
Yeah, yeah.
bucks. But
Well-
what are you gonna do?
Yep, I get it.
Or just get Wellington, which I feel like was much
Sure.
cheaper as well. But got to check this out if you're interested. Appreciate you for tuning in. I'm Alexander from PlayerSaid.com.
And I'm Grant.